Hey silencers, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's after show for NBC's Game of Silence. Tonight we're discussing season 1, episode 10, the finale. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Just gonna pretend I'm driving that car. Just real
Calm down. Like everything is just happy, and that did not just happen on the show. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it.
I have a lot to say, and I'm gonna keep it contained. I'm gonna keep it contained for a little bit.
So many questions unanswered.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to our last after show for NBC's series Game of Silence. It was a crazy one, a sad one, emotional.
Literal tears.
I know.
I'm surprised I still look good for the camera right now.
So much to talk about, right?
Right.
Well, thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm your host, Miaira Jennings, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Miaira Jennings. And here I have my lovely co-hosts over here.
Here we are, back again. Leslie Ambriz here. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at In Less Than No Time.
Hey guys, I'm Nikki Preston, and you can find me everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, and Nikki Preston TV.
Nice.
Just
and
changed
of course, our girl Abby Vega couldn't make it. Oh, you changed it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I finally got Instagram, Nikki Preston TV. I'm like, yes.
Consistent across all boards. I love it. Well, like I said, our girl Abby Vega couldn't make it, so we miss you, Abby.
Bye,
I know she
Abby.
was screaming somewhere on a couch watching this episode.
Oh,
so,
yeah, she was.
We'll talk about that for you. And we have our AfterBuzz colors on. I didn't even notice that.
look at us.
Our
We're
black
cute.
and yellow. How cute. Coordinated.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to sing like I can sing, but I can't.
So let's just jump in because
Let's
there's
go. I'm ready.
so much.
Let's go.
We're ready to go. We were on the edge of our seats the entire episode. So excited to talk about this with all of you. So first, let's start off with Liz. So she is investigating the fields. In the very beginning of the episode, we see that, they followed the lead of the guys. They find the bones that they think are Petey's. And so they're finally suspecting Carol. She goes to talk to Carol and question him. And he completely throws Bobby and Red under the bus. He doesn't want to take any responsibility, which, obviously, we should expect that.
And sketchy AF.
Yeah. So Jackson decides to go to talk to Terry, and he's wearing a wire. The feds come out. They shoot. This whole action
scene.
Let's talk about that scene.
Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Give me
I
your
was
reactions.
yelling. We were in the studio. They kept telling us to shut up because we were being so loud. But I couldn't handle it. But at the same time, I'm like, where was all this action? I get that they were waiting for the finale, but if we do get a season 2, I want to see a little bit more action throughout the whole series.
And I was kind of surprised that they were finally cooperating with Jackson, and then all of a sudden now they have the whole SWAT team or something there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
I thought he was dead for sure. I was like, that it's actually gonna be Jackson that gets kidnapped. We all thought it was gonna be Jackson.
Yeah, especially after the first time that Jackson had the DEA try to do the drug bust and it was a fail. Yeah. Don't you think they would be like, we don't know about your speculation, so we're gonna kind of ease on into that. But they went full force, and of course he got away. That man is made of steel.
I don't know how Terry got away because they shot him in the shoulder and
he got away.
And then pulls out his giant bazooka. Where you have that at? Just chilling in the trunk of your car.
It's Terry. He's got to have a bazooka, in the car. But
he covered his face.
It was just so ridiculous. The car was moving. The way he rolls out of the car, no one would have survived that. It was just so ridiculous.
A little intense, but bravo.
Crazy.
But it was good. It was good to see him a little weak, though. Later on, I won't get too much into it right now, but you see a weaker side of Terry, which I do like.
That's
finally,
true,
Yes. So we'll kind of get into that. So Jackson talks to Liz and tries to get her to orchestrate this plan so that he can meet up with Terry. That ends up coming to fruition, and basically Jackson comes out. He has a gun to Terry's head. I'm totally thinking he's gonna kill him.
I thought it was
you guys thinking he's gonna kill him?
Done.
I really wanted him to.
And then I thought Liz was gonna kill Jackson and turn on him and throw Terry a gun and be like, "Let's get this white boy."
No, you know what I thought? I thought in the mix of it all, Liz was on Jackson's side, but Terry was gonna somehow get the gun and kill Jackson.
Oh my gosh!
I thought, for sure. There's so many instances this episode where I was like, Jackson's dead. Jackson's dead.
So many, especially in that scene. There were so many things that could have happened, But what ended up happening was that Liz shot Terry. So that was kind of crazy. And also,
shot him more than once, but
rewind a little bit, because Jackson told Liz that he had her brother basically protected. I honestly thought that was a lie.
So did I.
You guys did too?
I think it was a lie.
I was like, this is a lie. He's just using it. He's desperate at this moment. He wants everything just to like fall into place.
Yeah.
He's gonna say whatever he needs to say. And at the same time, I was like, okay, dude, don't play with Liz like that. That sucks.
Yeah.
Like, that's her family. Don't mess with
I know.
that.
I really hope.
And we still
he's
don't
telling
know.
the truth, but
We still don't know.
yeah, we don't
Like
know.
Nikki was saying, she's like, there's so many unanswered questions. Like, they're better. And I'm gonna keep this, like, what's the word? Subliminally saying this. There needs to, or maybe not subliminally, because I'm saying it out loud. There needs to be a season 2, because I need to know.
That is vital, guys. Please keep tweeting about the show. It definitely makes a difference. We've had guests on here, and they've been very vocal about how much of an impact you guys have as fans. So please keep talking about it. But yeah, I mean, I totally think he was lying. I think in the future, hopefully, we get a second season, but we're gonna find out that
like a
it was
mini
a lie.
movie.
It's so
2-hour
crazy.
special.
Jackson has changed. Remember, like in the beginning, in the first couple episodes, he just wanted to have his nice, perfect home with Marina and not get his hands dirty. And they've turned him over to the dark side. And I'm like, was it really worth it after everyone died?
But I
all
like
this.
it.
You
I
like
like
it?
the dark side
feeling
Jackson.
it?
You're
One,
feeling
it's
it?
kind of sexy. I'm gonna be the Abby for a second. I was like, the guys are so cool.
She was it.
Okay, I finally agree with her. Jackson, Rogue Jackson, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, okay. And then
I agree.
it's cool that he's finally like jumping in with his friends as a character, actually taking a stand for them. Because before, like you said, like he's like, I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'm just gonna sit back. You guys can do the dirty work, and then I'll get pissed off at you for doing it.
Exactly.
And this time he's like, that's it. I'm in. Let's go. All or nothing. And now that Marina's dead, if we do get a continuation, we're gonna see a whole
Jackson's
other crazy
He's
side
gonna
of
be
him.
worse than Gil. Gil's gonna be like the Jackson.
Gil's the civil one in this episode, which no one expected.
Love the character development in this show, and they're just completely different than what we expected in the beginning, like you guys said. So I can't wait to hopefully see what comes after this, because it's just crazy. Complete transitions.
At least one more episode.
Yeah,
they really got to tie things
Something,
together. I
please.
mean, I came into this
Leak the
thinking,
scripts.
it was so confusing though, because watching it, I'm like, okay, things are finally coming together.
Put it on YouTube. Film a series and put it on YouTube. Anyone can do it.
Please, do it.
Do a Kickstarter. Raise some money.
Yeah, because we need the answers. I don't like to kind of make up what happened. I want to know what
write
really happened.
write a blog with the whole what would have happened from the writers at least.
We definitely need to know. So shifting gears a little bit to Dennis, because he's basically the reason the whole Terry situation even happened. So the crew goes to talk to Dennis because Sean feels like that's the way to get Warden.
The man of God. He ain't gonna lie.
This
He ain't
guy.
gonna lie.
so
He's in
right.
a church. He's gonna tell the truth. Lies. He sat right here and he lied.
He sure did.
Dear God. Sorry, I'm very passionate about
I
this
didn't see it
episode
coming
today.
at all.
No.
Like I
Fooled us
thought he was a
all.
good guy. He's gonna do the right thing.
Exactly.
Fooled us all.
But you
So
know what? He
basi-
probably
yeah.
would have done the right thing already by now. He wouldn't have let Terry do what he
That's
was
so
doing. So
true.
maybe we should have seen that. But
I mean, he had 20 years to get completely away, but he knew what he was doing.
That's you know,
he
'cause
got
I
in
kinda
that
wondered
church.
that.
He put on that act, and he knew what he was doing.
Like, oh no,
my
the
gosh.
drugs. Let me be the saint and take the
Wow.
fall for my brother.
yeah, because remember when he went to visit Annie after Boots died, and
We thought it was just a
No.
coincidence. We let it slide. We said, oh no, it just so happens they're in the same town.
Yeah.
He went.
yeah.
I love it.
No.
I love it. I love when good guys turn bad.
I mean, it's great writing,
Yeah.
but
great writing, but
dang.
yes. Yes,
Dang.
damn Dennis.
Yeah.
Hashtag damn Dennis.
Back
'cause
at it again
that
with
was
the crime,
crazy.
man.
So they talk to him. He ends up telling them that the warden made Terry shoot Petey. They end up
It was probably
convincing-
Dennis that
Exactly,
shot
that's what I'm
Petey.
thinking. He probably has been lying about these stories all along, but whew, that's a whole different.
We'll never know.
Hashtag damn
unless-
Dennis.
Yeah, I know.
So they convince him to go talk to the DA and get immunity, because obviously if Terry goes down, the warden goes down, he's going down. So at least save yourself and change your life. Well, he talks to the DA, throws Terry under the bus, and does not mention Carol at all. So the guys are like, what the heck? What is he up to?
Because he's working with Carol all along and
Diana.
Just
We
chilling
are
in
mad,
her
so mad.
penthouse.
It is revealed that he is Diana's main goon. one of the goons.
Diana's worse than Carol. Well, not worse, but just as bad.
Diana's a badass, though, guys.
Yeah,
Props
I have
to
a
her.
love-hate relationship
I
with
know.
her.
I envy her like power and how she's just sitting there like taking it all, dealing with these big drug lords. With her, literally with fur, just casually on the couch, chilling up against it.
Everything
like no
on
fear
fleek.
at all. She has like no security there. It's like literally just her.
She's
like, I
not
can take
worried.
you.
You're right. Very
I'm
calm.
fine.
You're right.
Yeah.
Like she said, she has people in this state and all surrounding states.
Yeah.
And like, whew, this
We
girl.
thought Ray Carroll was a scary one. Diana is a scary one.
You're right.
He even looked kind of scared of her, right?
Yeah, he looks scared. She never looks scared. You're never ever
Yeah.
thinking that she's scared for a moment. She's always a step ahead of you.
Even when what's her face Marina was telling her like everything basically, and she doesn't. She's just like, oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I came. Like you didn't see any
calm.
like poker face, a complete moment.
Yeah.
Like we knew what she was thinking because of the previous scene,
Exactly.
I didn't think she'd go that far, but yeah.
That's crazy. I love it, but I hate it. I love it that like the head honcho is this powerful woman, all chilling by herself, but also I'm like, ugh, she's horrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I love it. I hope we see more, hopefully in the future, because like you said, these characters are so freaking dynamic, and I love everything about it.
bring it to the
I
theater.
know.
I'll pay him big money to go see it.
Yeah. So moving on, we have Jesse and Gil. So after the feds talk to Carol, the bolo tie man. Abby's
We
words.
still don't know his name.
I'm taking
I know,
Abby's
we don't-
phrase because we have no idea what this guy's name is, but he goes to Carol and just wants to, let him know that he's suspicious of Jesse because, he's caught her snooping around a few times and yada, yada, yada. Carol plays it off, but later on at an event, he kind of pulls her to the side and wants to tell her, I recognize you. Don't think I don't know what you're doing.
And we knew it. We
Yeah.
called it.
did.
Remember?
Yeah.
We
We did
called
early
it.
on.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Why
it
do
didn't
you
get too
think
dangerous.
he waited so long or didn't say anything to her? Did he just think she wasn't a threat to him?
I think maybe he thought like she wasn't very involved. Like,
Yeah.
oh, she's just like the dumb girlfriend or didn't know that she was still talking to the guys probably.
Yeah.
That's what I would assume until everything started going down. Maybe he started putting one and one together.
Yeah.
Just because, like, he is, at the same time that he would recognize her, he is Ray Carroll. Like, he does have a million other things that was probably preoccupied with. He has his drug stuff.
Yeah.
He has his
Exactly.
sketchy government.
Yeah.
Like, his own family that he's hiding things from. And
Yeah, he can't even have a conversation with her without getting like pulled away for a
Yeah,
minute.
that's
so
Thank
I think that's maybe what influenced it. Just crazy life.
And that guy too, that we don't know his name,
bolo
I
tie.
think he looks like Dr. Drew a little bit. Maybe I'm the only one seeing this, but like
Wait,
an
he
older
kind
version.
of does.
He looks
Dr.
like
Drew,
Dr.
like
Drew.
the guy on the TV show that gives you medical advice.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, wait, is this a villain? And I'm like, oh no.
Dr. Drew.
I think he does. Maybe a little bit older. The glasses
That's
slightly
hilarious.
different.
Let's look up his name after and see if they're related.
Maybe they are.
Yeah, so that was crazy. And so basically, Gil and Jesse are there in the first place because Gil had this whole plan. It turns out that they are going to expose the warden finally in public. I love every moment
were
of
cheering,
it.
y'all.
Love it. So the warden gets this text and he goes to check his safe. It's empty. Gil's there with a gun. Were you guys thinking he was gonna?
Oh, I was
Yeah,
like, it's
I
over.
wanted-
Take care of
Yeah.
things. Yeah, definitely. What did you think?
I really wanted him to. I mean, we talked about it a few episodes before. He was just going to kill him and kill himself. So I'm like, just do it. Maybe we could frame him somehow or figure something out. And then I was worried Carol was going to end up hurting him because, Gil, he gets so upset thinking about the past and everything. And I thought,
I thought it was
it's
gonna be
over.
another Bobby Marks situation where he like stepped away from the gun for a little bit and then he grabs it and turns on him.
Yeah.
But damn, this is the first time that Gil like did something intelligent
Yes.
and smart.
He slowed it down.
He thought about
it. He stayed calm, and he completed the mission.
couple.
Exactly.
Power couple
Yes.
for revenge right here.
Relationship goals.
Seriously.
So he pulls him out, and in front of everyone, Jesse shows the photos of, was it Gil?
I think
or
it
just-
was Gil,
I think it was
yeah.
Gil. From Quitman, she exposes him as a predator and in all of the bad things that he's done. The people are just appalled. They're leaving. So whether or not this affects the case, like on on the crime level. It's just good that it was exposed.
I feel bad for his wife, though.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
yes.
Watching her just like
Yeah.
break down completely, I was like,
That was tough. Yeah.
Because imagine like this guy that she's been married to for how many years? She thinks he's this awesome government man, and just they played with your emotions
They
so
really
much
do.
in this
They do.
episode.
Yeah.
I was glad though, because I mean, if she knew about what he was doing, she would be just as bad.
Oh my gosh,
so.
yes. That's
What if
one
it
thing
turns
I
out that
did.
she's like in on it? That was an
You
act.
never know. You
I
never
feel
know.
like if she was crying that hard, probably not. But I was thinking, what if she does know? What if she's involved? But I was glad to see that she wasn't, because I kind of liked her character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was cool in the scenes that we did see her in.
Yeah,
so.
she was always nice to Jesse, and I liked kind of the bond they had, like a
genuine- I don't know
mother,
if I
the
can
mother that
trust-
she never had, you know.
Yeah. So that was cool, and so finally Carol's exposed. He's completely frantic. I don't know what he's gonna do next, but he looked pissed.
Yeah.
And I know it's not gonna be good. So
It doesn't prove though that
Exactly,
he did it, so
yeah.
we're kind of left like, oh, what's gonna happen to
Exactly.
Carol? We don't really know if
Yeah.
anything will.
Exactly,
He always has a way of getting out of things
Yeah.
too.
So hopefully it was just enough to get the word out and get people talking and kind of away from him. But we know he's a smart man and he's got people, so
Unfortunately.
bad things are coming. But until then, we'll move on to Annie and Sean. So Annie gets Sean to go to Nurse Amy's funeral. He's really upset, and I just love their relationship. I honestly think I've ruled out the romance.
The
What about
romance,
you guys?
yeah. I see it more as like a brother,
Yeah.
sister, or just like really good friends,
Yeah.
just trying to keep each other up, you know?
I was a little bit disappointed because I did want to see. I
You
always
wanted
want
it?
to see the romance and
Yeah.
everything, but I think they do kind of balance each other out
Yeah.
and help each other out and are like their support system. So they're a good pair. You
Yeah.
never know. If
Married
there's a second
was-
season, maybe.
I feel like it would just be a wreck if they'd like got into a relationship.
Yeah, I think at first I was like, oh, that's weird, I don't want it. And then there was a portion where I did want it because they're like cute. But now I'm glad it's platonic, because I think it's cool to show that guys and girls can be friends and just support
friends.
each
True.
other and not always hook up and have
It's
affairs,
true.
especially since everybody else is doing it. But you know, we need some platonic friends on this show.
Guys always say that they can't be friends with girls. That they always want something
Exactly.
more. Where like I could definitely, you can
Yeah.
be friends
I
with
feel like
guys
it's
or
not,
whatever.
girls are more like open to that than guys.
Yeah, well, hopefully it stays that way, because I like their dynamic right now. So hopefully it stays that way.
hope so.
Anyway, so they go to Nurse Amy's funeral, and this man approaches them. He ends up giving. Oh, right.
Oh.
So we had a moment when we were a little scared.
Yeah.
We
We
were reaching
had a gun.
reaching in the code.
Like you
We never-
shot.
You guys didn't see it. They like jumped a mile high, and I was so calm for some reason. Like I didn't even flinch, and you guys were so scared.
I was like hiding like behind my notebook.
We never know with this show, guys. Never know who's gonna pull out a gun, a bazooka, whatever else. But it ends up just being an envelope, which is cool. And it turns out that Amy left information before she passed. Woo, thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
So smart and just planned ahead. It turns out to be a list of names of boys who disappeared, and the ones who came back and the ones who never came back and there are no records of, which was really helpful, because in the end we see that they dig up more graves, which is, oh my gosh, so tragic.
Really
They
sad.
find more bodies in that field. What did you guys think about that? And just shout out to Nurse Amy for doing that. I'm
Yeah.
glad they added that in.
You know what? Now that you pointed that out, I know we said earlier in the conversation that maybe Ray Carroll could get away with it. I don't know now. Now that my brain kind of turned on with that moment.
Yeah.
with all the kids that are
If
involved.
there's all these bodies, all these kids are linked to equipment. He's going down regardless.
I know a lot of these kids are bad, but I still go back to the fact that I know a lot of them were adopted. Some of them, one of the kids that died, there had to be a parent or a mother or someone who was wondering what happened to my kid, you know? It seems a little bit too odd to me.
Yeah.
He had to he probably picked out all the like
That's
foster
true.
kids. And,
They were
like,
probably targeted. He knows
Yeah.
everything. So, oh man, that's just tragic. And then, finally, one of the biggest parts of the episode was the interaction between Marina and Jackson and the development of their storyline, their relationship.
It was so
Oh my
much.
gosh,
Finally
oh my
getting back
gosh.
together is so cute.
Yeah, so
Oh.
first I just want to reference the last episode and also transitioning to this episode, because I still feel like neither one of Jackson nor Jesse told Marina the truth about their affair. So I feel like that plays such a big role in where the story went, because she still doesn't know what happened between them. And yeah, Jackson apologized and Jesse came and spoke with her about it, but they still didn't come clean about their actions, which I kind of feel like I wish they did, but what do you guys think?
No, because nothing really
You don't
happened.
want them to?
I mean, they
They
kissed.
did! Oh my gosh, that's cheating!
I'm moving.
No, okay, in real life, yes,
Cheaters.
you probably should come clean, but, you know, she would have never talked to him again if he was like, yo, look we kissed, we actually almost did more,
Yeah.
but you got hurt, so I
You
had to
gotta be
come
honest,
save you.
though. You always gotta be honest. Honestly, Marina, you all saw the episode by now, so I'm gonna say Marina died, and she did not deserve to die.
No.
Yeah.
And the poor baby, too.
She's gone through
So sad.
so much this whole season.
So much.
And she's like, I know, everyone's probably gonna comment like, Leslie, you said you wanted her to die. I know, I hated her. I was all pro, like Team Jackson, Team Jesse. After this episode, I love Jesse and Gil together. I love it. They're a perfect team. They know what buttons to push. They know when to calm each other down, when to make each other feel better. But oh my gosh, even with Jackson and Marina, I was actually rooting for them this episode, except when Marina opened her big mouth. But
I know.
I was
so
at no
mad.
point
It's her fault
this
she
whole
died.
time she didn't deserve to die. She should have stayed. I was expecting like maybe a kidnapping. Jackson saves her. They go through a lot, and then they get over it, and then they confess about Jesse and Jackson. What happened, and then back into the drama. That's what I was kind of
Something
predicting.
else, yeah.
But
they-
not immediate death.
Oh my
They got
gosh.
him the worst way, though. I mean, she was right. Diana was gonna get Jackson, and there was no other way that.
Now I know
mean,
it
she's
wasn't
smart.
a lesbian thing. It was just
I know.
a creepy thing.
Exactly.
just-
And
she's
you
just
were
that
right. I
person.
think she's gonna frame him. I mean, I think that was the whole idea why the body was in his trunk is Jackson's gonna be going back to jail.
Exactly. So just, I guess, for a little bit of context, you guys obviously already watched the episode, but Marina decides to open her mouth and question Diana directly about her intentions and her motives. Exactly. And I'm just wondering, Marina is so smart. Obviously, is she just reacting off of emotion right now, and she just made up with Jackson, and she's just kind of talking? I mean, she's just so smart. I find it hard to believe that she would just blatantly let all of her business out to this random woman.
But you know what? Diana was smart.
Yeah.
In that if Diana was just another client and they had like a superficial client-lawyer relationship, she might have like mentioned like, oh, we're back together. Leave it at that. Because Diana buttered her up so much, and there was like, we're best friends, and you're my lawyer.
That's so true.
When you're with your friends, you have no filter. You don't care.
true.
You're not thinking about your words. You say the dumbest things.
True.
Diana was smart. She played her real good.
Oh my god.
Real well. Real
Oh, it
good.
just
I can't
makes
even
me
speak
so
proper grammar
angry.
today.
I feel like maybe like Marina needed some other friend. She needed someone else to talk
Somebody.
to.
Marina
Someone.
She should have become friends with Annie or
I
Jesse.
know.
Yeah.
But you know what? In some ways, though, the guys, everyone always leaving her out. She had no one to like discuss this stuff with.
Yeah,
talk
she
to,
didn't
and
deserve to die.
Not
That's
cool.
a good point, actually, Nikki, because at first I was really mad that she would even tell. Like, you don't know this lady. Why are you telling her? But then again, like you said, also, Leslie, it's like she buttered her up and she made her think that she was her friend over these last few weeks, you know, and saying she reminds her of herself. So I get that, especially if she didn't have other close friends, let alone any close female friends. I understand that. I mean, if you're connecting with somebody and you want to, you know, mention your personal life a little bit, you don't know what their intentions are. So I actually kind of do understand that. As far as Jackson is concerned and her relationship with Jackson. Now, her speculations about the Warden, on the other hand, I can't excuse that.
No, not at all.
You cannot tell people what you think is going on, because she told her, oh, well, he might be involved in a murder, and aren't you working with him? No, just leave that out. Talk about Jackson.
Slide that in later.
Does she not realize how powerful they are and what is really going on? I feel like she's still not understanding how serious this is.
She
doesn't
doesn't
get it.
And that
doesn't
comes
get
down to Jackson again,
telling her.
and why I can't completely leave fault away from him. I feel like it is partly his fault, because he wasn't honest with her up until this episode. He has never completely come out and just had a conversation and told her everything that happened to him in Quitman, everything they're doing to get the Warden and Terry, and why, you know, he's been acting the way he has, and maybe warn her a little bit so she can be prepared. She's a smart girl. If she's not going to help, she can at least be smart and get away from it. But if you're in a situation completely blind, what are you going to do?
You don't expect anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I still feel like it's Jackson's fault a little bit.
Yeah, he should have told her. episodes ago. I mean, especially when she was in danger, like she needed to know this stuff, and also like to save their marriage too. I mean, after a while, when she's just thinking it's the whole Jesse affair thing, you got to tell him no. Like we honestly have serious business going on. It's nothing to do with that, and he wouldn't tell her anything.
He didn't start opening his big mouth until he went crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. And I actually thought in that first scene when he goes to her office and he apologizes, I thought when he was like, I can't do this anymore, I'm like, okay, he's gonna just let everything go. And still nothing. I'm like, this girl was already kidnapped? What happened to her, by the way, when she was in the hospital? I don't even remember.
I don't think we know.
Yeah, nothing really happened. They didn't show anything. I think she just ends
up in the hospital. And then it's just implied
she, like,
that Terry
or something?
beat her up or something.
There was no bruises on her. It was really weird, actually.
Yeah, that's very interesting that we never addressed this. I think we forgot. Okay. We'll just take it for whatever it was.
Go back on Hulu and rewatch that episode.
Yeah. So after that, after she was in the hospital, you would think that Jackson would tell her everything. Yeah. So she's not lurking around alone and being completely out of the loop. But he didn't, and now she's dead, and I still think it's his fault. So I definitely felt bad for him.
The security system sucks for them.
I know.
Can you just say that?
That thing.
That was a bad investment.
Refund. Horrible.
All these people are getting in, and he always gets the alerts after it happens.
Exactly.
Not during.
So just continuing on that, so Marina finds out she's having a baby boy, which I was so excited about because I still like Marina, even though she opened her mouth. And then Jackson comes home one day and she's gone. I'm like, great. And so my first reaction was, well, maybe she just went somewhere and it's not a big deal because she was already missing or in the hospital, so maybe they're just throwing us off. Yeah. But then later on, in the very end, they're in the field where the cops are digging up more bodies. They're talking about how, the warden was exposed and everything's kind of good and whatever, but they still can't find Marina, so everybody's kind of like feeling like things are getting resolved, but Jackson's obviously still conflicted because he can't find Marina. And
I think they poisoned her first. I think the food was out. I think that's my first thought. I'm like, they poisoned her and then she shot her or whatever else she did. But I think
was she shot or was she slashed?
I don't know.
You're right.
There was blood.
There was blood. There was just a lot of blood.
So I'm sorry, I'm going back one more time, but what did Diana give her when she gave that gift?
Was it a necklace?
Remember I said it was drugs?
Yeah.
Maybe
what was it?
You're probably right.
It was like a bracelet or something.
You
think she put it on and
I
it
feel
did
like
something?
that had to have been involved somehow. You don't just, she wouldn't have just given her a gift randomly. I feel like that probably would come into play next season. But
maybe a tracker, keeping track of her whereabouts.
That's a good one. Man.
You can't
we're thinking way too
We're thinking so deeply.
We're like, she laced it with this drug and that thing.
Yeah, so it turns out, the cop's like, oh, did you run into something? Jackson goes to check out his trunk. This was the scene of the season, folks. The scene of the season. We were teared up. We were crying. I can't believe it. He opens the trunk. Marina's dead body is laying in the trunk. Whew. That scene, David Lyons, shout out to you because that emotion was real. That was good. So just tell me, give it to me.
I don't know. For some reason, I cry during commercials. I cry all the time. I did not cry during that scene.
Nikki was the calm one this whole episode.
I did not expect it at all, and it was like maybe I'm just like too numb now from this show because I did not.
Everybody else died. I'm like, I'm used to it.
I'm like, why am I not crying? Everyone here is crying. I don't know.
That's fine.
That's cool. Yeah.
She's gonna cry on the way home.
Yeah. She's like, hey, I'm gonna have nightmares like I normally do.
That's crazy. Oh man, I didn't want Marina to die, guys. I really didn't. And I felt like she was going to become a really integral part of the plot line because I thought she was going to be involved somehow. And if anything, I thought maybe she would have lost the baby.
Yeah. I thought they're just going to kidnap her again and then they got to try to get her back. But yeah, I was not expecting this at all.
Like she loses the baby, the next season she has to worry about Jackson has to deal with her and everything with that.
Yeah.
I can't even see Jesse with Jackson ever. Like even, in season 2, we'd have to wait a long time, maybe for like a season 3 before they get together. I'm
pro Jesse and Gil now after
Me
this
too.
episode.
I just remember when we were back at the first episode talking about that, and we were all for Jesse and Jackson rekindling their flame. And now I just love how the writers have set up these relationships and just changed our perspectives each and every episode.
They've done a wonderful job.
I love it. It's just so well done. And I am so team Gil and Jesse, like you said. And I think about Gil's reaction if he finds out that they cheated. I think about, Jesse's inner turmoils, and is she feeling bad? Does she want to tell? Does Jackson want to tell? I mean, there's just so much to it, and I hope they don't go back to that, but I feel like they might later on down the line.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Jesse feels that bad, but maybe because they have so much going on right now, that's probably why. Even Jackson doesn't seem to feel too bad. But, I mean, you're right. The writing is so good. I can't even think of any other show where usually you always want, like, the one couple to get together and throughout the whole series. That's
and
it.
it's, like, kind of predictable. You kind of see it coming. You might, like, freak out every now and then. But this... No, this series is amazing. NBC was stupid to let it go.
So dumb. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed for a new home for this, because you just don't get writing like this especially on network television very often.
Oh, yeah.
So it's definitely a gem. Please, you guys, tweet about it. Keep talking about it online.
Even Netflix, can we get it there?
Anything. Just literally
the
anywhere.
options are all open.
Yeah. So,
Hashtag the Save Game of Silence. Hashtag Game of Silence. Get it trending right now that it's what I think it's about to end on the West Coast. It started at 10.
Yeah, keep it going for sure. So with that being said, let's go through some predictions for a potential season 2. And I kind of want to go through each character, if that's okay. All right. Because we're going to do a super... Oh.
You're AfterBuzz TV.
I always forget about the lights. How many times do we have to do this?
Okay. So first...
A million times.
Detective Liz and her brother. Go.
I think the brother is done. Jackson lied, he's not protected. And Liz, I was so proud of her in this episode for finally being stronger and standing up to Terry. I think, just because I want her to, I think she's going to stay around. I think she's going to be okay, and she's going to help Jackson and them with Carol and the rest of their murders and the whole case.
I agree with her sticking around, but I don't think her brother's dead. Because Terry still used him as potential ammo when she was about to shoot him. He was like, Doug, don't do anything stupid. Like, I have your brother. Like, I can make the call. And I think at that point, she's like, I'm fed up with you, dude. You're gone.
See, but that's why I think he is dead, because he shot her. Yeah. Like, he's...
But he couldn't make the call, though. Or do you guys think he already made it?
Surgery.
Yeah.
So I think once he's... I don't think
out,
Terry...
like,
so we'll do
then
Terry,
he'll be
too.
dead?
Terry and Dennis. Okay. I don't think Terry's dead. I think he's definitely going to survive the surgery and the gunshot. For sure. He just has to. I just feel like that.
He will. I know he will.
And then we'll find out Jackson was lying, and because her brother is going to be killed. And Dennis, I feel like Dennis and Terry are going to go to war, because something's going to happen where Terry's going to find out that Dennis threw him under the bus, and that he's working with Diana. So that's going to be a completely different storyline. So many different parts. I'm excited about that.
I could, going off of what you just said, I could see Terry, like you said, the war between them, and then Terry kind of being both on the good side but also on the bad side. Like, he's not going to let go of his drug selling and being involved in that, but he is going to do whatever it takes to get back at Dennis.
Yeah.
So I could totally see him sometimes joining in with Jackson and his crew, but then when it comes to his own stuff, he's going to stick around to that.
That's a good one.
And I want to see more, like, going off with Terry, we got a little hint more about him and his daughter's relationship. And I was expecting to see more of that this episode, and nothing. It was like, oh, by the way, Terry has a daughter. Here you go. So the writers are definitely deserve a season 2, because I think they prepped it and they wrote for a season 2.
Absolutely.
You're right. I think for sure she was around to be like, oh, Terry's not that bad of a guy. He has a daughter. He has a heart. I think she would have maybe been the voice of reason in season 2 and been like, Dad, I know what you're doing. You can't do this anymore.
Yeah. But that would be interesting if she becomes a pawn in this situation somehow. Okay, so Jesse and Gil.
Wow.
Well, the Carol. I always say the Carol.
The Carol.
He is the Carol.
He needs to be like a comic book character. Bad guy. The Warden obviously knows who they are now, what they were up to. And there's not, like you said, there's not enough evidence to incriminate him, but he's exposed. So he obviously still has a chance to come back and retaliate, I think they're in danger.
Oh yeah,
They're
for
all
sure.
in danger. No one is safe anymore.
Yeah.
They had little secrets that were keeping them safe. Everything is out in the open.
Yeah, everything is out because Jessie, as soon as Jessie exposed herself, it's done.
Yep. I would be
there's
very
nothing
afraid.
else.
I don't think they're gonna stay together either. I don't really see Gil and Jesse staying together. I feel like
You
they're
don't
gonna
think so?
find someone else. They're just not quite right for each other. I feel like Gil's too much of a hothead, and I don't know. I just don't see them together.
I like them. I think they're a good balance because even that but I'm going more based off of that one scene where he was just like pissed off because like everything was going well and then suddenly it wasn't going well and he was yelling. She was the one that was like, okay, I'm gonna yell back at you because that's what's gonna weirdly calm you down. Like she knew what would bring him down to that level, and then they'd be able to talk. And to me, and now we're getting to like relationship advice, but to me, like I think that's like a good balanced relationship when both people know, okay, I know when to help you, what it's gonna take to help you cool down and to make you a better person. And I think that's what Jesse and Gil do. Whereas with Jackson and Jesse, still love them, but it's all like this like sexual built up tension from the past more than anything.
You're right. Do they have that foundation? Do they have that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but at the same time, I feel like Gil likes Jesse more than Jesse likes Gil. Although they did show how they met, like last episode.
She was falling in love more the last episode.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I think Gil likes Jesse more, or loves Jesse more. And I don't know. I think the story has to have some conflict in between the characters, like the main characters. I think their friend group has to have some friction later on down the line.
It does. I don't want to see it, but it does.
So I think that friction is going to come from either Gil finding out about Jesse and Jackson or something else. So I love Jesse and Gil together, but I think the friction is going to come from them breaking up somehow.
And then Gil and Jackson, there's going to be friction between
needs
the
to
two
be
of
some
them.
of that,
I could see Gil punching him out or something.
Yeah, because there just has to be. The team needs to be broken up a little bit for the story to shake up a little bit.
Dang.
And then whose side is Sean going to be on?
Season 2 is going to be insane. I'm already
Season 2
predicting
people.
that.
It's happening.
I mean, we already know
ridiculous.
Marina's dead. Jackson's just going to deal with that.
Maybe, like Jessie feels bad, so she comes clean about it to Gil. That might happen.
Not good. Not a good idea.
I don't know. Well, hopefully, everybody, keep your fingers crossed that we will get to find out.
We need to.
If we're right, and we'll get to find out, and just keep tweeting. And thank you guys so much for tuning in with us this season. It has been so fun joining the conversation with you guys and having our guests here. Shout out to Nikki Tomlinson, Eileen Gruba, Aiden Stay, Katie Kelly, Kern Walters, and Chuma Galt for coming in and joining us live on the panel. It was such a pleasure having you guys here to talk about your experiences on the show and to connect with your fans a little further. You've obviously done a great job on social media, so we really appreciate your support for our after show.
Yeah, we loved it.
So it was cool. It was,
finding
it's
little
great.
This doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah,
that
I
you
think
get
this
the
is like
cast
the
on
first
the show.
episode we didn't have a guest in forever. So thank you guys so much for promoting it and for being so involved, because a lot of the times you don't see that all the time. So
We seriously really appreciate
we
it.
appreciate it so much. And like I said, Abby couldn't make it, but I know she's watching on the edge of her couch somewhere. You can follow her at _Abby Vega. And please keep the conversation going with us online as well. Even though the show is over, fans have an impact. You have a voice. Please use it. Make a difference and keep the show alive somehow. We'll keep our fingers crossed. In the meantime, you can find me online at Instagram and Twitter at Miaira Jennings, and my panel over here for the last time.
You can find me, Leslie Ambriz, on Twitter and Instagram at In Less Than No Time.
And find me, Nikki Preston, at Nikki Preston TV on everything.
That's it, guys. We'll let you know if we have season 2, but until then, see you next time.
See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
I'm so sad.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.